Welcome back to the MiniVision Dollhouse series. Today, we're upgrading the bedroom with a new color palette, wallpaper, and carpet. We're even getting a little bit fancy with a chandelier. But for now, let's start all the way back at prep. Back in its heyday, the bedroom was banging in bold red and velvet wallpaper. But it was time for something new. I cleaned everything out, working through years of grime. I began to remove the wallpaper, which luckily didn't put up much of a fight. Once it was clean, it was time to get messy again with a bit of sanding. The bedroom was now all smooth and clean and ready for a coat of primer. With everything back to a fresh start, we could have a look at our space. The footprint was simple, with a window and a doorway looking through to the living room next door. While I had plans for furniture, I felt that the real wow factor would have to come from the bones in this room. One of the first things we had to do was frame our window and doorway. I bought this lovely miniature framing dowel from my local hardware store. I cut them to length and at a 45-degree angle at the corners and glued them into place. I also glued a squared popsicle stick on top of the windowsill and used filler to rebuild the ledge which had worn away over time. Each window in the dollhouse was different. Some had ledges and some were just cut holes. It was fun designing each window to work with what was already there, seeing it as more of a restorative renovation, but to also somehow make each one unique. They may just be windows, but you know what they say, windows are the window to your soul. So back to the bedroom, we had to frame the doorway. The wall was made of 2 panels, which left an exposed seam right above the door. Before we could frame it, it was going to have to be filled with my favorite multi-purpose filler. I also took this time to fill and repair any other cracks and gaps I could see in the room. Once that was dry and sanded, I could glue the framing on and use more filler on all those new gaps and seams. The bedroom is so beautiful and has these high ceilings leading up to the roof. The ceiling had been in great condition, but needed a new tone that would match our color scheme and blend into the background. I chose this dark charcoal and gave it a fresh coat all over. It was time to paint our new window and door trims, and my dollhouse sidekick was more than happy to help. They were painted in antique white, the same color used on all the trims in the dollhouse to tie each room together. This included any skirting boards or visible support beams. To spice up the bedroom, I planned a bold feature wall using this botanical vinyl wrap. For the color on the other walls, my sidekick chose Marsh Fog, a pale, warm mint, picked especially to match our wallpaper. It was up to me to outline all those finicky, tricky edges, but my sidekick could help roll the rest of the paint onto the walls. The last thing to do before installing the wallpaper was pre-drilling the holes for the curtain hooks, so I wouldn't chew up the wallpaper afterwards. In my hand, I'm holding a pin vise, an awesome tool for you mini crafters, but the rooms are around 50 centimeters deep, meaning it was super awkward to do most things on this back wall. For the wallpaper, I created a template by measuring out the wall and accounting for all those odd edges, but ultimately decided to do most of the cutting as I went.
Wish me luck.
This part was really scary. I did not want to make a mistake I couldn't come back from. I was also weary of blocking the camera, so most of the time I was straining and using my fingertips. I just had to work slowly and try to avoid overcutting. My mini-me had been watching and wanted to try it at least a little, but after reaching in and giving it a go, she quickly decided that, yeah, this job isn't as fun as the other ones. But all in all, I felt it made a huge statement for the entire dollhouse. With all the edges neatly trimmed and tidied, I could recut the holes for the curtain hooks and screw them in. I did run into issues later when realizing I forgot to consider the wardrobe when measuring for these hook holes, and ultimately moved them closer together. But it was all worth it for our beautiful wardrobe, painted in complementary antique white with matching wallpaper inside. Fancy! Be sure to stay tuned for that video. With the ceilings and walls now complete, we could finish the floors. I chose carpet for this room to bring warmth and comfort. I trimmed the corner to accommodate the skirting board and glued it down with my handy Dollhouse sidekick. Once it was dry, I could come back and trim the edges. Now that the space was starting to feel like a real room, it was time for the curtains. I designed the curtains just like I designed the windows, hoping to make each one special in its own way. The bedroom curtains were a dark green linen with a focus on bringing texture into the space. The material was very thin, so I doubled the length for my fabric so I could fold it in half later. I pinned all the edges and ironed them flat. I also folded it and ironed that seam for a crisp edge before unfolding and spraying a light dusting of spray adhesive. I could then fold the two halves back together and sew up the top edge. This edge also served as a guide for the gold rings that I sewed along the top, spaced evenly apart. just need the curtain rod. It started as a brass tube, but first I was going to use it to help iron my curtains. I gathered the fabric how I would like them to be pleated and pinned them before sliding them off the brass tube. Then I could iron them. I did all this because fabric doesn't hang or drape the way you think it will once it's made small. Pleats and creases have to be encouraged and sometimes forced. Now I could slide the curtains back onto the brass rod and finish making the rod ends. While my other curtains had more ornate rod ends, I kept the bedroom simple with only small gold beads so as to keep your eyes on the feature wall behind it. The colors worked beautifully together, and that gold was killer. To keep the gold theme rolling, I had purchased this incredible miniature chandelier from Temu. While the chain was far too short, I could guesstimate the length for a new one and its position using the bed. The chandelier had a beautiful mount with a magnet, meaning I would be able to remove the chandelier when I needed to. I used pliers to undo the gold ring holding the chain at each end and could get ready to attach the new one. Once it was attached, I measured out the chain and unlinked it at the right length before reconnecting the other end. I cut a small space in the beam of the ceiling to mount the flat magnet half of the chandelier mount. I thought it was so beautiful and really sold those elegant vibes. In the bedroom, there was one last permanent fixture to install, an adorable hand mirror, also from Temu, to act as a wall mirror. We were all done and ready to nap. But stay tuned as we explore all the bedroom furniture in a future episode. Speaking of future episodes, stick around for the next room as we quite literally tear into the living room. Thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed watching the full transformation of the bedroom.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel to show your support. See you next time!